2Dextreme outside the lab, baby.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah. Bringing in the new year. I know y'all been like, where y'all been? Well, we've been chilling for the past 2 weeks. You know how I go during this time here. Just getting everything ready for 2018, getting everything set up right, nice and tight. That's about it. That's about it. Getting everything ready. Y'all know we have the 2Extreme shirts. We're coming up with another color pattern, white and gold. We're also gonna come with caps, sweatshirts, sweaties. Give us, work with us, and we'll work with you. Everything is in the development stage, and we're gonna keep going and pushing and striving. Also, inside the lab, we will start those sessions always on Saturdays when we have guests. This weekend we had Ratchet Ab and Trippy coming in, putting in some work into the lab. Like I always say, when you come into the lab and if you're doing some studio work, make sure you come in there and eat, you know what I'm saying? Because you're paying about an hour, so you might as well come in there and eat. Don't come in there playing around. That's your time and that's your money. Also with the lectures, we come with a few more lectures. Maybe every once a quarter, once every 90 days, we'll come with a real powerful lecture. That's something I've been wanting to do, for years, what I've been doing. And now since we have the audience that we're pulling into, now we can try to uprange this frequency level. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to have nobody on a downward frequency level, so we'll be doing lectures on self and non-self, knowing thyself, different things of dealing with yourself to get to the next level. Because the first thing you have to deal with is the beast within. You deal with the beast within, you can deal with the beast without. That goes back to old African spirituality in its greatest essence, because the greatest essence of spirituality is always going to be the form of you. When you get into the form of your own self, the first thing you do is that you understand that you are everybody and everything is around you. Like the Moses code, when Moses came down and Moses spoke to God and God told Moses, I am that I am. So when you look at things like that, you can say, well, I am that I am. That means that I am Damon. Damon is me. He is the mad scientist. I am Shu, vice versa, and it goes on to everybody that you know, everything that you come across. And that's just real. That's just real. So a lot of times, we had outside the lab shows where we just chilling doing what we do. That's basically what we're doing now. Just doing what we do. Also, y'all see 2Dextreme got that jury on. We won that fantasy football, did that for real. Team Shushabek all the way, squad up, baby, squad up. Team 2Dextreme. Loud in your face, baby. Also, last year, we picked the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. We was real successful on that pick. This year, we had Pittsburgh picked to win the Super Bowl. Actually, Pittsburgh is still in it because due to symbolism, that's things we deal with. We'll be talking about things of that nature more and more. But as of right now, Pittsburgh is still in it. And I called this way at the beginning of the season, like I did the Patriots. And I'm not going into some, I know this, I know that. I'm just looking at strictly on symbolism. We'll get more into that, as it goes. For right now, we got the mad scientists sitting here. So, mad scientists, man, Happy New Year, and go in and break them out, man. What's up with it?
Happy New Year to the Extreme fans, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Extreme.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We out here just dropping knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have an open mind in order to take the knowledge that we're trying to drop to you. Because for some people, they ain't ready to wake up. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're gonna go into the new year, and instead of making a New Year resolution like everybody else, sit back before you even think about it. You're in the new year now. This is a new year. Just sit back and think about everything that you could have did last year to be better. Just sit back and think about it. It may take a while, but you should. That way you can meditate on it, and then come up with a solution to get better. Even if everybody needs baby steps to get somewhere. Before you get to a platform, you gotta crawl before you can walk. You gotta walk before you can run. You gotta run before you can sprint. So you gotta get your plan together, man. You gotta sit yourself down.
Execute your plans, man. You gotta execute.
And see, a lot of people don't really take this to heart, man. See, this is why the essence of reading is fundamental. Fundamental. The fundamental. You know what I'm saying? Because your imagination, depending on your personality, is very vivid. It's wide, it's spread, it's colorful.
And like Dear tell you right now, the mad time tell you right now, we even have all these conversations is because we also are in a group, the execution craft, dealing with science and a lot of history. Well, we on Facebook, but it's a small group and everybody can't be in the group because we know everybody don't read. So it's a very, very, very small group. And actually to be in the execution craft, you have to be picked. It's not nothing where you can just say, well, you know, you actually have to be picked by one of us, you know. And that's what he's saying.
And you know those people are gonna at least, if they ain't feeling what we saying, they'll at least share it, or they'll go and read just to see. All right, well, what is he really talking about? He's telling me this because he care about me for one, because he know me, he got me in this, so he care about me. So let me go see at least what he's talking about.
What he's talking about.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of us get caught up in our everyday lives, man. Everybody struggle with their so-called demons, the essence against their self, and get caught up in shit and don't get involved in some of the knowledge that you already have. Or somebody
knowledge being presented to you, right?
Yeah, somebody that passed it off to you.
Right.
And, you know, you get caught up in those things, man, with your worldly things, man, and nobody is perfect. So we're not here to judge nobody on that. We letting you know that you're human, we human. You know what I'm saying? Rich or poor, we all put our pants on one leg at a time.
And another thing too, we want to get out there, and it doesn't hurt our feelings. This is not for everybody. I'm gonna look dead to the camera. This is not for everybody. Yeah, you know, it's still love, but this, you know, we talking about economics and, you know, having things and boss life and, you know, to the extreme, you know, and having avenues so our kids can have something. We're also talking about social and cultural things that are going on every day that we see that people trying to put a finger on it. We putting a finger on it, and we're also putting a label on it. Because I don't care what you say, everything has to have a label. Everything has to have a label. If it didn't have a label, it wouldn't be able to be identified. That's like walking into the store with nothing with labels. You don't know what you get.
Without a label, nothing can be sold.
Okay? Now there's such thing as called false labeling too. That's why we have to get into the scientific criteria of what you labeling.
You need to read what the fuck
you gotta read about what you buying. Because if you don't read about what you buying, you don't know what you putting in your body. And that's what hurt a lot of us, from the lack of reading, the lack of just wanting to pull up YouTube and let somebody on YouTube that didn't read the book give you their point of view on the book. Now you walking around like you didn't read the book. No, you only know that person's point of view. You only know that person's point of view. You know, it's just like, and I'm not shooting no shot, just for real. That's like you going to church every Sunday, but you never read the Bible for yourself. You only have the preacher perspective. You only have his perspective. That's just like the imam, the Muslim. If you're a Muslim and you only listen to your imam and you don't sit down and read the Holy Quran and understand these laws, then that means that you only going to have the perception of the imam.
You're only going to be a spectator, man, instead of a person that actually has the information. You're going to be the spectator, not the reporter. You know what I'm saying? A preacher used to tell us, man, and he lost his church. And he used to tell us, whenever he would read out the Bible or something, he would say, don't take my word for it. Go read it for yourself.
That's what I love to do.
You know what I'm saying? Go read it for yourself, because it has to be encoded in your brain. Visually. It has to be encoded in your brain visually.
I love it too.
On paper, in word. It has to be incorporated visually in your mind, and it has to be heard.
That's what I love.
And with all of that, it needs to be spoken.
I love to go tell somebody, go research it for yourself. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite things to do. Cause I can sit down and be like, one day I was telling Alan. Y'all know Alan Rich. You know, even though he's a comedian, we do have deep conversations. We was talking about Roman history, and Caligula came up, and I was getting to the story of Caligula. But my whole thing about Caligula was, don't take my word for it. Go read on Caligula yourself, and you understand how his dad, how he came into power, how he came into Rome, what he did. I think it was like 400 days of terror, what he lasted in there. And Caligula was one of the stories. There was a true story that was actually taken out of the Bible. And they teach you this in Catholicism. But besides of being taught in Catholicism, you also go to historical books like H.G. Wells, and it goes into these stories. So I just gave you the book, H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells. Go get the book, H.G. Wells, and it goes into Caligula. If you want the whole story of Caligula, pull up Caligula, and you will be able to find the whole book on Caligula in Amazon Records on the Roman. It'll be in the Roman history.
Yeah, man, it's just like he was saying, like in the Bible. If you remember, if you're my age or older, you remember the Bible that your grandmother had that was this big. And you know what that Bible told? That Bible told about the Dark Ages, the part between the Old and the New Testament. And this is why the movie 300 made so much money, because back then, so many people that went to see 300, they knew that it was called the Battle of the Thermopylae. It was taught to you in English class, like the Iliad, which is the Trojan horse. You see what I'm saying? They taught you this already. So all these older people came to come see this because they knew what it was. They knew the battle, and it's in the Bible. But you have to get a big Bible. You have to get one of those old big Bibles, and they still print them because the churches have them. They thick, like a Webster's Dictionary when you go to the library and that big book on the stand. One of them that thick, and in the middle of it is gonna tell you everything that happened between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And they got the Battle of the Thermopylae in there. It also has the Iliad. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of Greek. That's part of Greek history before Rome actually.
Right, because it'll be the Greeks. The Greeks were the one that came and invaded Africa, and the Persians were invaded Africa. If you want to get referred to something else, I'm referring you to Anthony Browder, Nile Valley Civilization. If you want to go to where it began, you want to begin in the Nile, begin in the Nile. That's where you should begin your education. Your education should begin in the Nile River before there were any Greeks, any Persians, before anybody came in there. That way you understand what civilization was birthed from. This is what civilization was birthed from.
You have to follow the timeline. You can't stop.
Right, you gotta stay on the timeline.
See, if you're gonna seek the knowledge, there's no point in you seeking half of the truth.
Nah.
You might as well keep going, because that's the point of the brain being with so much memory capacity to go search and get more knowledge.
You gotta stick on the timeline.
And while you're searching and learning knowledge, you keep your brain more active than any else thing on your body, and it keeps your brain healthy. That's what keeps your memory constantly going.
Before we get out of here, I'm gonna let y'all know something. We're talking about timeline, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this thought on y'all head. This is why you always have to study timeline. The Sphinx is mirrored to be maybe more than 90 million years old. Now they're saying that it's older than that because of the comprehension a person would have to even think about something like that. So now they're saying it's older than even 90 million years ago. Okay, they give you a 10,000 year span in the Bible. Now this is just for you to do for your own research. Okay, stick to the timeline. Where does the timeline begin? When you get to where the timeline begins, then you'll get to the root of a lot of things that you've been having yourself in question. Now today, what we did here on Outside the Lab, we really went in deep. We really don't do too much. But what we went in today, though.
This thing about the Bible, man, I had one once where they gave the timeline of every book that was written. They gave it to you before you read the book, like under the title, and they told you that. And they got timelines that don't intertwine like concurrent. It'll be a period where ages will stop and another book will come up. It's like the knowledge had been passed down in secret, gave it to this person, then they wrote a book and just kept going. God just kept choosing people.
All right.
So with that being said,
till the next time, we're gonna have to do a recap on this one here pretty soon. 2Dextreme Outside the Lab, baby. Peace.